Thank you for joining. This is an introduction to TSANet for limited members. I plan to go through a few slides, give you an update on what TSANet is, also some updates on TSANet Connect 2.0, and we should have time to do a quick little demo as well and open it up for some Q&A in the end. So if you're not familiar with TSANet, TSANet's been around for 30 some years. It's set up as a not-for-profit, and we have about 900 plus companies, and its charter is to enable multi-vendor support. So you can see a few of the logos on here, but obviously a lot more companies participating in TSANet. As far as the member benefits go, the one that we're going to be focusing on for this webinar is the multi-vendor collaboration. So again, I'll go through that in detail. There's been some changes and enhancements with Connect 2.0, but there's another aspect of TSANet, which is a support community. And as a limited member, you get to benefit from some of that. You can attend best practices webinars, view some of those recordings. But as a general member, we have a concept of a regional focus group where members actually come together, network with their peers, discuss in more detail topics and feedback on TSANet. But we're going to go ahead and focus on the multi-vendor collaboration component. So just to understand a little bit on how you were invited into TSANet, because I think sometimes the limited members aren't quite so certain, what is this TSANet and how did I become a TSANet member? So TSANet, again, is a multi-vendor collaboration framework. There is a legal framework and there's an operational framework. But in general, these are the models that the framework supports. So there's a common customer, which is, hey, we're going to collaborate with other vendors. We meet in the market. Obviously, any type of on-prem tends to follow that category. Then we have alliance partners, and these tend to come through technology partner programs. And that is where you have joined through. So you'll see when I talk about the membership levels and how are these things created, an elite member set up a partner program, required their technology partners to be part of that, and invited you in. And again, this is the model where you've got a validated configuration with your partners. Maybe it's in a developer marketplace, maybe it's sold just meet in the market mode, but this is how you've been invited in. And then of course we also have strategic partner setup that's more for OEM solution support. But to give you a sense, these are the models that TSANet supports. So in general, any type of multi-vendor setup you might have with a partner, but specifically as a limited member, you've come in through an alliance partner program. So just give you a sense of how membership is set up. We have a concept of general membership levels, and that's this standard, premium, and elite. And as I indicated, you've come in as a limited member, and that's through an elite member setting up a co-branded partner program. So they've set that up. We've sent out invitations. You've joined through that. Maybe you've expanded relationships through the years on TSANet, but you're essentially connecting to elite members to get started with TSANet. As far as what TSANet is doing in behalf of this relationship. So obviously, as I said, this is focused on the collaboration aspect. So once you get onboarded to TSANet and TSANet Connect, and again, I'll demo that and show that, it creates a bi-directional collaboration path with the host. So obviously this gives customer confidence that their validated solutions are supported by the vendor. So there's no finger pointing in this situation. If you got a problem, you can contact the vendor. If the vendor has a problem, they can contact you. So it kind of gives a nice, quick, easy way for members to collaborate on behalf of the customer. Obviously, for benefits of the host, very straightforward. They are managing hundreds of partners. So you can imagine if they had hundreds of different ways of working with all of their technology partners. So this creates an extremely efficient way for them to basically onboard and manage hundreds of partners through a best practice framework. For limited members, it's the same thing. Obviously, a common way to collaborate with partners. Obviously, when you're just collaborating with one, maybe the benefit isn't there and isn't strong. But once you get 2 or 3, then it starts to make sense. Now you're going to your support engineers and your operations and saying, hey, here's the way that we collaborate with our partners. So it gives you kind of a way as a limited member to grow with the organization as well. So you'll see, and I'll demonstrate this, limited members, you can add relationships. So you can, as you, form relationships with other members, maybe they'll invite you into their partner program, or maybe you take a proactive approach there because you have a technology partner program maybe that's starting, or you have a strategic relationship you want to form a relationship with there. So there's multiple ways that you can grow your limited membership, and then obviously upgrading to general membership is an option as well. So let me just spend a little bit of time here on the TSANet Connect 2.0 system. So this is a brand new system. It was launched in July. It was under development for a better part of a year. Quite a bit of new functionality. So obviously, very modern architecture now. It includes an integration framework for us to integrate into member systems. Salesforce has been the first one where we have a package that's available, but we're working on Microsoft Dynamics and others. So we see this kind of scaling and the ability for members that maybe are a little higher volume or want a more integrated collaboration mechanism. This brings it all right inside of their ticketing system. But all members get the new web app. So I'll demonstrate the new web app for the limited members, and you'll see that that's fully functional as well. So all the new functionality, for example, the ability to add notes and updates, that's available for all users. So I'll show you how that works. And then there is a new collaboration feed that does require single sign-on. So that's primarily for premium and elite members. And again, that gives you a history of what's going on. But limited members can still add notes. You'll get emails of those updates. So it works similar to like a LinkedIn in-mail type experience. But we'll walk through the functionality of that. So if we take a look at the new Connect 2.0 collaboration process, if you're not familiar with what we had, it ended at step 3. So the previous system, you went into the system, you searched for a member, you completed the form, you press submit, and there was this handshake that went on. There is an SLA timer that's monitoring the initial response coming back, and really kind of our promise to the members was you come in here, you make a collaboration request, the system will ensure that you get a response back. If not, escalation processes go off, things get triggered, you have the ability to follow a manual escalation process. We can get involved as well if a member is not responsive, but that was really the focus of the first generation system. What we've enhanced now is some enhancements to step number 3. So you can also now update the initial response. So for example, say the engineer changed, you can make that change, and that will notify the member. And then the big feature is the notes. So obviously now, instead of hopping outside of the system after you get the handshake, you can stay in the system, you can add notes. And again, it's not the type of thing where you have to be logged in waiting for a note. It's going to alert you through email if there's been a new note added by the other members. So again, what I tend to give a comparison to is just like LinkedIn InMail, right? You get something, it'll send you an email. You can see, you can click on it, you can come back there and add notes and respond. So as far as accessing the system, so connect.tsanet.org, you're going to search for your company. It's going to take you to your landing page or your login page. You could certainly bookmark that. It's always going to be yourdomain.tsanet.org. And this is actually a change as well. So if you previously used the other system, you'll know it's kind of a very long URL was yourdomain.connect.tsanet.org. So we've really simplified that now. You initially go to connect.tsanet.org, but then it's going to redirect you to yourdomain.tsanet.org. And you're going to log in and create accounts from that page. And then obviously premium elite members, they can enable single sign-on, and as I indicated, that's a requirement for the collaboration feed. But that's how you get access. As far as requesting a new account for a limited member, this is extremely simple. You can also set up where it requires a registration to get a new account. So that would be a situation where maybe you're working for a very large company and you really don't want everybody getting in there. You could set up a workflow where someone needs to register. It'll send an email to you as admin and you approve them to get access. But if you just want to let the system take care of adding accounts, you can basically go here, put in your work email address. Doesn't need to be your work email address. We validate it against the domain to ensure that the wrong people aren't registering. The system will send a temporary link, and then that will take you through the first use process, which forces you to set your password. And there is no limits on the number or location of users for limited members. So the system is kind of very, very open for use as you see fit. Once you get into the system, and again, I'll give you a quick little demo of this, the support engineer experience is extremely simple. You're going to go there, you'll see a little pull down where you can select the members that you have a relationship with. That's going to take you to a process form, and you simply fill that out and press submit. So that is really the what the support engineer needs to do. So it's not a complicated system at all. What the system will do at that point is it will do this initial response email handshake. So immediately they'll get an email that comes back. It has this embedded escalation instructions if something goes wrong. And then once the member responds, you're going to get this initial response, and I'll include their case number, contact information, phone, what's the next step. So maybe they want you to jump on a WebEx or something like that. So that's the initial response handshake that comes back. And then the new experience. So again, the previous system, that's where it stopped, and you would have to call the engineer, email the engineer, do whatever you needed to do, kind of working outside the system. Now you can come back to the system. You can drill into the case. You're going to get this case view that shows you, the metadata as far as what you submitted, what the response was. Again, it'll include the escalation instructions if you're running into any issues. But now you'll see a functionality where you can add a note. So now you can go here and add notes, and that will go to the other member. Then the other functionality that you do have, as I said, for limited members, you're invited into a one-to-one relationship with a specific member. Maybe that happened once, maybe that happened twice, maybe it happened times. Again, you can request relationships as well. So off to that right, you'll see the add partners. You can search for a company. You click into that. There's going to be a little form that comes up. You fill that out and press submit. And then what TSANet does is we orchestrate completing that relationship. And it could be, the member you've asked to have a relationship with already has a partner program. Maybe you just come in through that. Maybe there's a new relationship that we formed directly. Maybe we understand, it's a strategic relationship. We need to set up a special process, but that's where we kind of get involved and try to understand what's required. Okay. And then of course I have on the bottom here, once you start to get a lot of relationships, we generally say 4 or more, then we start to prompt you for, you really should upgrade to membership, because then it's not a per relationship. It really opens up the system to collaborate with a lot of members and join whatever partner programs you need to join without additional cost. So general membership certainly opens it up. Okay, and then just kind of before I head into the demo, I just want to spend a little bit of time on what I felt the next steps were. Obviously, the first is onboard and train your support engineers. Again, you can see this is not a complicated thing. We are going to record this. We'll provide links to that, but also you'll see when you log into the site, there's a little training tab, and there's a recording. It's actually less than 10 minutes to train a support engineer. So that's real kind of short and sweet. Here's how you use this thing. The other thing that again I feel strongly about is once you get in here, you know, maybe you've got some collaborations with a company that invited you. Maybe you're like, well, that's an interesting relationship, but this other one is even more important. You know, really, we see where limited members get values when they start to add relationships that they want. So certainly get in there and make those requests for relationships. And again, we'll work with you to enable those. And then certainly as you grow, you start to get 3 or 4, like I said, start to reviewing the other membership levels and benefits and see if that makes sense for you as an organization. Okay, so with that, I am going to switch over to a quick little demo. Okay, so here is the interface, and like I said, you know, you log in here. Again, I'm an admin of this account. So if you're an admin, you will see a little admin menu. And I would say if you're on this call, probably you're an admin. If you don't see this, then certainly reach out to me and we can modify. But some things you can't do as a limited member, so you can't set up partner groups and those types of things, but you can view your users, you can view your inbound process, you can view reports. So there's some things you can do as an admin here. And then again, events, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this, but this will take you to our blog. And again, you can see here on the bottom where we kind of advertise different things that are coming up, right? Training sessions, webinars, focus group meetings, all those types of things. Training is going to take you to the resources page, again, where there's various types of training. There's a whole section on limited membership where you got some recorded training stuff, and we'll actually put this in there as well. Profile is just going to take you to your profile where you can, you know, update your phone numbers, those types of things, change the password, and then it'll show you, you know, your membership level and your logo. But as far as using the system, it is as simple as, you know, clicking your link, selecting the company that you want to collaborate with. And again, it's going to auto-populate your information here. You're going to put, you know, your case number, you know, what the subject is and the description, who the common customer is. And again, for each member, there could be some unique fields here. So for example, I always say hardware vendors, generally speaking, you're going to see a hardware serial number field in this area. I want to give you the view here of, and again, you're going to select the priority, and you can see it's going to tell you what your expectations are, right? And then once you press submit, it's going to send you the email with the embedded escalation instructions. So once I press submit here, the system is going to go, you know, give me a splash screen. And again, it's going to embed the escalation instructions here, but I'm going to get an email with this exact same information immediately. And then again, the other side's going to receive it. They're going to respond. And what you will see when that happens, you can see they haven't responded to this one, but this bottom one here that I did before, you can see that they responded. They gave me their case number. That moves to the status of accepted. And again, with that, I can kind of come in here and, you know, I can see this detail, and I can go ahead and add a note, right? Okay. And what that's going to do, again, I've been able, just so you can see the collaboration feed here, but as a limited member, you won't see this. If you have single sign-on, of course, you're going to see that that aspect, but you're going to get emails. So again, the thought is limited members, probably starting out somewhat lightweight users. You're going to want to kind of work with email, but you can come back here, add notes. You can also, as a submitter, you can close a case. The system, though, will soft close a case after 30 days of non-activity. So again, it's not the type of thing where your engineer feels like they have to manage a completely separate system, right? It's even with this enhancements of notes and case updates, the idea is, you know, this is not the type of system your engineers are in all day long. But it's a tool that when they need access to, it's there, it's super simple to use, and you know, does the job that they're looking for. So that is it. The other piece, like I said, you know, as far as adding another member, again, you can see you do a little search, and then you see this send invite. It's going to come up and ask, you know, for some information. So that's how that works. You can also request a company that doesn't exist. Again, you know, you find that it's going to come up with a little bit different form. For that, obviously, since you're not a member, this is where we need to know, do you have a contact? So sometimes this is, hey, I have a partner, they're not on the system, or at least I can't find them on the system, and here's a contact that I've been working with. So that allows us to kind of bring them in, have that conversation with them as well. Okay, and that is it. I think what I'm going to do is